My story for today is welcome back to my story about what it was like growing up in the projects. One morning, all the kids in the projects were making ramps to jump with our bikes. We would put things under the ramps to see who could jump the furthest. So, as we were jumping and screwing around, one of the younger kids wanted to try and jump the ramp, but we didn't think it was a good idea, but he insisted. He wanted to jump the ramp on his new bike. So what we did was we moved the ramp over to the grass so if he did wipe out, it wouldn't be as bad. So we built it up on the grass and he gets ready down the sidewalk. We tell him when he hits the ramp to pull up. Don't come down on your front tire. So we stand back and off he went down the sidewalk onto the grass and hit the ramp. And of course, he didn't pull up like we told him, and he came down on the front tire, over the handlebars he went, face first, across the grass. We all ran over to see if he was okay before laughing. He gets up, he has grass stains all over his face and across his front teeth. He bit pretty hard. He went running home to get cleaned up. It was one of the funniest things that happened down there in the projects. A couple days later, we all got together to go down to the empty factory at the end of our street and start a game of 36 in the yard. So, we picked someone to be it and we all split in the yard. We had to stay in the yard, but it was pretty big, so there were a lot of places to go. We were up on the roof when we see the cops coming, so we all start running to the back of the building towards the fence, which led to the tracks. I could see some of the kids jumping the fence, but I was stuck on the roof. So I jumped down to the smaller roof and started running towards the edge. I was gonna jump, but when I got close, I realized it was still pretty high up. So as I was jumping, I turned to grab the edge of the roof, and I came down right into a ball of razor wire that was wrapped around the window. Now, I'm stuck in this razor wire, and the police were in the yard looking for us. As I was cut really bad, but I also didn't want to get caught, so I sucked it up and climbed out of the razor wire and slid down one of the pipes that was on the side of the building and hit the ground running. But I had cuts on my hand and a huge cut on my leg. We get away this time and get back to the house. I go inside, check my leg, and I had a 4-inch cut and it was really deep and I needed stitches to close it up. So we tell my parents I was doing a flip off the fence and I cut my leg. After the hospital trip and 6 stitches later, I was laid up for a few days, so I couldn't really do much. It was a very boring week for me, let me tell you. After my mother took the stitches out a week later, I was allowed back outside. One of the things I really liked to do when I was bored was breakdance. Back when I was a kid, breakdancing was very popular, and I was pretty good at it, as well as another kid from the projects and myself used to get into competitions at school, and we would make a dance routine and we would win a lot of the competitions. So that went on for a while. After dancing, I went on to partying a lot on the weekend. My parents would say we were weekend alcoholics. One weekend, my brother's friends were throwing a party and a bunch of us went. That was a mistake. We get there, we start drinking and having a good time when my brother's friends were playing a joke on him, and they filled a glass with vodka and just a little bit of orange juice, and he had to down it. Well, me having a buzz on already, I grabbed the glass and downed it. Before they could stop me and tell me what was going on, I was already smashed. I mean, after 20 minutes went by, I couldn't even walk. My buddies had to carry me home. I was so sick and hungover the next day, I felt like I was still drunk. My parents were so mad at me for that, I was grounded in the house for a week. After my grounder was lifted, I was allowed back out. would all go hang out in one of the other kids' basements. He was the only child at his house. He had an older brother, but he moved out, so his mother let us do whatever we wanted to down in the basement. So we drank, smoked weed, listened to music, and one night we were all down there partying, and I decided I was going to let one of the guys cut my hair into a huge mohawk and shave around the mohawk bald. Everyone was like, "Damn, bro, your parents are gonna kill you." So we partied for a few hours and everyone left, and I only lived across the street, so I was one of the last ones to leave. So I go home and I walk in the house, and my dad lost his mind. He was yelling at me so bad to go get that mohawk off my head. He was like, "You look like a damn fool with that on your head," which I actually did. So my mother shaved it off. Thanks for listening to my continuation of growing up in the projects. If you want to hear what else happens growing up in the projects, tune in to the next video. Thank you.